We just gotta spend it right. No one's got a hold on you as long as you're still alive. No one's got a hold on time. We just gotta spend it right. No one's got a hold on you as long as you're still to my own drum, leave before the sun comes. I was gonna make this count, bleeding for the sake of someone else's pay stub, hoping this would all work out. But I've been stealing time, thinking if I tried, everything would turn out right. We're caught up in the climb, love was far behind. Someone's gotta stop this madness. When all this seems like it's okay, and all we feel is dead, we're on replay. And all these dreams where life's made are leaving out the people that we love. So slow down, we need to slow down. Feel it when the sun comes, feel it when your heart turns. Everybody needs more time to step into the sunshine, see it with your own eyes. I just wanna feel alive, 'cause I've been killing time, I was losing life. I've been here for no good reason. We're caught up in the climb, love was far behind. Someone's gotta stop this madness. When all this seems like it's okay, and all we feel is dead, we're on replay. And all these dreams where life's made are leaving out the people that we love. So slow down, we need to slow down. No one's got a hold on time. We just gotta spend it right. No one's got a hold on you as long as you're still alive. No one's got a hold on time. We just gotta spend it right. No one's got a hold on you as long as you're still alive. When all this seems like it's okay, and all we feel is dead, we're on replay. And all these dreams where life's made are leaving out the people that we...
Good evening. Welcome to Slow It Down Sundays. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Arlene Connolly Drummond, your stride coach and host of Slow It Down Sundays. I am so thankful that you took this time to spend time with me, and as you have joined this process of us learning what it means to slow it down. You know, our world is moving so fast. There's so much going on, and many of us are struggling sometimes to catch our breath. But in this space is our time to, yes, take that deep breath and even slow down that breath and use this opportunity to recalibrate, to reconnect, to refocus, and re-engage with what matters most to you. And so I'm on this journey just looking for and welcoming the opportunities to slow it down. And so I'm thankful for all of you who have chosen to be with us tonight. And in this episode tonight, we really wanted to tackle the subject of tenacity. What does it mean to be tenacious? You know, when many of us think about being tenacious or tenacity, we think about we're holding on, we're tooth and nail, we are pushing forward, we are relentless in our pursuit, we are laser focused. And so tenacity is all of that, but it's also when we are so intentional and clear about our purpose, we understand our why, and we are ensuring that the actions and things that we're doing in our lives are in alignment. When we are tenacious, we move differently because we have a clarity, we have a focus, and we have an understanding about the direction we're going. It's not us operating at the pace of exhaustion, pushing ourselves till we can't go any further. That's not tenacity. Tenacity really is about ensuring that you are engaging in life in a way that allows you to strengthen your perspective and be clear about who you are, what drives you, and make sure you're connecting with that and you're in tune with that. When we are in tune with our purpose, tenacity is a fuel that allows us to press past the challenges, press past the obstacles, press past the situations, and look at what's going on around us or in our lives and be able to say, what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow through this experience? And not saying, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening now? And so, as I am thinking about all that's going on in our world and in our country, I am so clear that if ever was a time that we need to ensure that we are grounded and we help our family and those connected to us ensure that they are grounded in their faith, grounded in their sense of purpose, grounded and have a clear understanding of their why. If ever a time we need to ensure that we are moving through our lives very strategically, very intentionally, very focused, is now. We don't have time to flutter. We don't have time to waste. But we do have the opportunity to ensure that we are being very intentional and we are carving out time to ensure that we are protecting our peace. We are protecting our joy. We are creating sacred space, safe space, like this space we're in right now. This time that we set aside is our sacred space, our time to reconnect with our thoughts, to just slow down our mind a little bit so that we can hear ourselves think, so that I can process, so that I can find that thing that's inside me that reminds me why I am pressing, why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. Why am I pushing past obstacles and challenge? It keeps me grounded if I know my why, if I'm operating from that place of purpose. And so, in the busyness of my week and the various things that I go through in the week, I can be very consuming, but I also feel so connected to the things that I'm involved in because I'm operating from my place of purpose. I want to ask you, are you operating from your place of purpose so that you can allow yourself to move with a sense of conviction and tenacity because you have a resolve about not just who you are and whose you are, but what is your assignment, what you're trying to accomplish. You have checked in with your core values and there is alignment. That's what allows me to navigate through my days and to even the days when I'm feeling the physical weight of exhaustion. My spirit is energized, it's alive. My mind is fertile with so many ideas because I am in purpose. And so I really encourage you and I'm inviting you, if you have been finding yourself struggling to move, we are finishing the first month of 2025. Can you believe it? This is the last week of January of 2025. And there are goals and an excitement or an energy that you started out this year with. And for some of you, that excitement may be fading as you observe what's happening in our world, what's happening in our country, what's happening in your community, what may be happening in your family. Life is happening. Life is happening, and it's going to happen. How we engage with life, how we welcome life, how we position ourselves to take advantage of whatever it is we're going through, to make sure we are not just so focused on the weight of the journey, the pain of the journey, that we miss the opportunity to harness the lesson in the journey. Oh, I'm looking for my lessons because I have this thing when I have certain situations that go on. I say, Lord, I want to learn the lesson in this situation because I don't want to go around this mountain again. And so I try my best, as difficult as it may be sometimes, to tune in, lean in, to make sure that I am observant. So slowing down allows us the opportunity to look at what's happening in our lives through a certain lens, a lens of clarity, a lens of focus, a lens of understanding, a lens of inquiry, where we have the opportunity to ask the right questions, to make sure that we are creating and cultivating an environment in which we are positioning ourselves for growth. Challenges and obstacles come, and what do? They stretch us. They help us build muscle. And so I share this as I was doing and having a conversation with a group of parents who are, and many parents are feeling very challenged with dealing and raising their children through this challenging times. And I share with parents that it is so important that we cultivate an environment that our children have this safe and sacred space that we create in our homes, in our lives, in our connection with other people. We create this sacred space that our children can learn, grow, and thrive. How are we making sure we're doing that? Because the outside world will give them so many messages. But we have an opportunity, and I used to say this to my daughter all the time, our home is our sacred space. It's our safe space. It's a place where you can have healthy inquiry and conversation. You can explore ideas where you can spend time in dialogue and also just spend time in laughter and fun and create a space of peace. Oh, how we need our peace. We need it. And so, if your environment, if your home, if your life is so busy, so consuming, your schedule is beyond packed, and you struggle to find this moments like this to slow it down. Because I'm hoping that even though we are doing this on a Sunday for this 30 minutes, that you're carving out time during your week, during your day, in your evenings to practice this, to practice what it means to slow down. Tenacity requires us to be so in tune with ourselves that there is a driving force that anchors us and allows us to move with a power and a conviction that we're not easily swayed. But it also allows us to be very mindful when there's a need to pivot, to adjust, to bend with the wind so we don't break. It allows us to really lean in to make sure that we are positioning ourselves in a place of strength. And so there's so much need for us to ensure that we have clarity and we are in a position and we are positioning ourselves in a place of strength. Understand that our strength, our grounding, does not come from the external world. That is an internal process. That is a personal development. And if you're around people, that's a collective. You know, us being really consistent and clear with creating community. You've heard it so much that your circle of support is so important. And when we are striving to be tenacious, to navigate the challenges of life, we need community. We need people who encourage, people who empower, people who strengthen, but people who also correct, who provide guidance, who may provide insight, who may provide perspective. We need all of that. All of it. So you hear those, I don't know if you can hear it, but the people are outside disturbing my 7:30 Slow It Down Sunday piece with their motorcycles or whatever that is. And it can be a real annoying. But I really, even in that, it's Arlene, how do you lean in and tune in and make sure you're maintaining your focus? It is part of the environment. It is part of being in community. There is distractions. There is noise, right? How did you do this week that you just went through with kind of tuning down the noise so that you can hear yourself? So if you haven't done it, I want to pause for a minute. And I want us to just take a breath, close our eyes, and just listen to the beat of our heart. And just slow it down. It's heavy. There's a heaviness that is in the air. And so I can't tell you that it doesn't exist and we're in this bubble and, everything is going the way we like it. That is not the case. That's not our reality. But I am able to detach myself from the noise and ensure that I create this sacred space. So I want to ask you, what are you doing to create your secret space? How's that going for you? Is this time at 7 p.m. on a Sunday your only slow down moment? Or are you really incorporating this concept, this habit into your daily lives? Are you finding moments to pause, to recalibrate, to refocus, to hear your still small voice of guidance? How's that going for you? I wanted to give you a couple of tidbits around tenacity and ensuring that we are anchoring ourselves. Um, I want you to make sure that we are embracing flexibility in our lives, that we're not so rigid with our schedules, but we create buffers and room for flexibility. I shared with some team members this week in a leadership meeting who was having back to back meetings. Almost a whole day was spent in back to back meetings, and very little time for self care, and hardly even time for lunch. And everyone was feeling it. And, sometimes we feel that we just have to go with the flow because that's the expectation. But I encourage us to challenge those norms and create space in our daily schedule that allows us to have breaks. So if your schedule doesn't allow for you to take a 30-minute in between meetings, I'm going to encourage you to revisit your schedule so that you're taking intentional breaks, basic moments to decompress from one conversation so you can transition to the next, so your brain can have some level of clarity so that you can prepare and position yourself, or just to do self-care. It's critically important. Critically important. So as we move and we talk about being tenacious, I really want you to think about it as a mindset shift. That when I'm thinking about what it means for me to move through life with a greater sense of clarity, strength, and focus, and giving me that drive to push ahead even when I'm feeling challenged, when I'm struggling sometimes to focus, that tenacity, when I connect back with my why am I doing this? Not because of what others people have said, but what is my reason? If I can remember my why, it helps give me that opportunity to refocus. So, what are you doing to refocus? What are you doing to make sure you preserve your why? Have you done this? Have you written in your journal? Remember, we talk about how important journaling is? Have you spent time this week reflecting in your journal so that you can see what your daily life or experiences are? Capturing your highs and your lows and your moments, and even capturing your small wins. Part of us being tenacious is ensuring that we are capturing our moments of small wins. It is not about us being perfect, but it's about us growing. It's about us consistently moving forward in spite of the obstacles, in alignment with the obstacles. Taking note that there was an obstacle, there was a challenge, and I did overcome it because I'm on the other side of that challenge. And if I'm remembering to document that, I may see certain patterns emerging or that are present in my life that I can begin to address. Did I create some of the challenges and obstacles that are before me? What was my role in that? And if I didn't have a role to play and these challenges and obstacles are coming at me or they're occurring around me, what are the environmental circumstances that are influencing those? And are there any elements of it that is within my control? Or can I be mindful to say, if it's not in my control, I can still choose how I'm going to respond in various situations. I can ensure that I'm being responsive but not reactionary because I maintain my sense of calm. I maintain my sense of clarity. I maintain my sense of focus. I'm able to be tenacious. I'm able to stand firm, stand tall, and move with confidence. When I was starting to work on Stride and the message I heard from the Lord, when He gave me that word, stride, it wasn't that I'm not going to face challenges and obstacles and situations. But what He said to me is about my movement. It's about my pace. Right? And so when I'm striding, I'm moving with grace and poise and confidence. Do you know why? Because I'm anchored in Him. I know that there are forces greater than myself that are at work. And I also know that I've been called to the assignment that is before me. And I also know that I'm equipped. And I also am open for learning and growth. I welcome the opportunity, as challenging as it may be sometimes, for growing, for experiencing, for learning. Being tenacious is a mindset that I'm inviting each and every one of you to rethink it, to adopt it. It's not us being so aggressive and relentless that we don't know how to pivot and bend and to adjust, to recalibrate. No. It means that we have learned how to do that. And because we've learned how to adjust, to recalibrate, to move with consistency and clarity and a sense of purpose, because we have learned, are learning, are developing those skill sets, we are positioning ourselves for living life with more intention, with more joy, with more peace. And that's what I want. I want to live my life with more intention, with more joy, with more peace. That's what I want. That's what you want. We want to live with more joy and more peace and more intention. Stride differently. So as you can see, my peaceful interaction with you is being disrupted. As some of you may experience that when you try to slow down. When you try to slow down, right? Your environment doesn't always cooperate. And so that is just part of it all. We don't live in a bubble. We share space with other people, our loved ones. And so our time that we set aside to say we're going to pause, we're going to slow it down, we have to make sure we're communicating that to those we love and those around us. And that as much as possible, Invite them into the experience. Help them partake in the slowing down process. Teach them not only by your example, but help them put it into practice. This is a muscle we're building. This is a new paradigm shift that we're doing in our lives. And I welcome it. I'm embracing it. Are you? How are you doing with slowing it down? It gives me moments of that when I slow down. And we haven't touched on this yet, but it's such a critical part of slowing down. I have a moment that I can be and practice gratitude and remember how much I've gone through the past week, and I can position myself for the week ahead. So we are finishing the first month of 2025. This is the last week of January. How are you going to approach this new week? I know for me, I'm approaching this new week culminating or positioning myself in a huge project. On Saturday, February 1st, we will have our Stride event, The Pace of Progress, Purpose Moves. It's about what is the pace of our progress? Yes, how are we moving through life with tenacity? How are we pacing ourselves? How are we making sure we are making purpose moves? Innovative. We are determined and focused, and we are creating habits that are enduring, that will allow us to go the long run, to go the extra mile. We are preserving our breath. Oh, Stride family, each and every one of you that are with me here tonight, as you prepare for your week ahead, remember to breathe. Remember your why. Tap in to your ability to be focused, to be strategic and intentional in your actions. Let us make sure that the gift of time that we have, we are using it wisely, respectfully. We're honoring our time. Let us ensure by our example, we are showing and practicing for those we love and those around us, especially our children who are watching us, what it means to be tenacious, how they can ensure that they move through life with a strength and an energy and a focus and a drive and a commitment that doesn't deplete them, but allows them to live on purpose. I am so thankful that we had the time to slow it down tonight. I am Arlene Conley Drummond, your Stride coach. And if you haven't registered yet, join us for Stride 2025, The Pace of Progress, Purpose Move, on Saturday, February 1st. See the link in the bio. Join us. We welcome you. We're looking forward to the experience where we are creating our very own strategy board of how we're going to navigate through 2025 and beyond. Looking forward to seeing you there. See you next Sunday as we pause for Slow It Down Sundays where we recalibrate ourselves for the week ahead. Have a phenomenal week. Preserve your peace and move with joy. See you next Sunday.